The Republican National Convention continues today. Night one, Republicans making their pitch for another 4 years of President Donald Trump. They formally nominated the president and vice president. Tracy Potts has more from night one and what's ahead for night two.
Sheba, after the roll call vote in Charlotte, it is official. President Trump is the nominee for the Republican Party. He showed up in North Carolina to thank delegates and spent a lot of time talking about mail voting and Joe Biden. We heard that attack on Biden throughout the evening. Looking ahead today, the featured speaker is First Lady Melania Trump. The theme for tonight, Land of Opportunity.
Tracy, thank you. And tonight, speakers at the RNC, you just heard Tracy mention there, Melania Trump. She will actually be speaking from the remodeled Rose Garden. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo, as well as two of President Trump's children, Eric and Tiffany.